but yeah, we bought $50 million worth of storage. About $20 million of that was equity in 2021, and $12.5 million of bonus depreciation came right back to us as a deduction to defer our tax liability into the future. Mitchell, I'm going to do my best, and I think this is I'm kind of the ignorant one in the room. You're the professional. I'm going to do my best to give the 30-second spiel on what bonus depreciation is. You're going to fill in the blanks, and we're going to together come up with a layman's term for how people can understand what bonus depreciation is. So when I purchase a computer mouse for my business, this is $19. I write it off as a deduction year one. It's a deduction. Yep. If I put fuel in my car, I write it off year one, and because I'm using it right then, the useful lifespan is not more than 1 year. If I buy a building, a commercial real estate property, it's 39 years. The IRS has deemed that is the useful life. So you can't deduct the full price year one. You deduct it equal percentages every year for 39 years, not in counting the land, because the land cannot be depreciated as an unlimited lifespan. Okay, commercial real estate, 39 years, residential is 27 and a half. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so then there's this tax code. There's this data in the background of the IRS that doesn't necessarily think the whole building has a 39-year lifespan. Let's say I'm sitting in a commercial building. It was purchased for $1 million, but let's say the ground improvements outside, the sidewalks and the landscaping, the IRS says that has a 5-year lifespan. The HVAC, the windows, the flooring, the light fixtures, all these different things are not necessarily 39-year lifespans. They can be depreciated faster. That's what accelerated depreciation is. Anything that's 15 years or less, which is a big chunk of the things inside of a building, whether it's the movable walls of a self-storage facility, they can be depreciated quicker. And you can basically accelerate and take more value. You apply values to those amounts. You say, okay, that window is worth $10,000. This, HVAC system is worth $35,000. You put values on all these things, and you come up with an accelerated depreciation schedule where year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, you're depreciating things quicker, and it's not necessarily 1/39 or 2.5% of the property value. You're doing it quicker. Is that an accurate explanation? Yeah. What did I miss?
So let me kind of say that in a couple of different ways and say a lot of what you just said right back to you, which is there are these two types of properties in the tax code: 1245 property, which is personal property, and then 1250 property, which is the long life kind of durable business property that is either the 27 and a half or the 39 year. And so what the 1245 would be for you talked about sidewalks, you talked about movable walls, you talk about signage and
stormwater retention infrastructure,
earthwork,
all that you've
the
done
land
to
improvements, all the retaining walls, all the this and that. So what we do in cost segregation is take your building and blow it up into that blueprint diagram of all of its component pieces. And then we take a tax classification and a tax life and assign it to every single item on that blueprint diagram. And then we put it all into a kind of pro rata spreadsheet of just giving every piece of equipment in the whole building a relative value to the entire building and a tax life. And then we decide how much 5, 7, 15, and 27 and a half or 39-year property is in that building. And then to the point you made, the bonus depreciation was this law passed in 2017, the Tax Cuts Jobs Act, which allowed folks to take 100% bonus depreciation on all that 1245 property, regardless of if it was new or used property. So that enabled Nick Huber to go buy a 1992 self-storage facility and reassess the whole thing and take, getting a little bit ahead of us.
In 2017, two major things happened. Number one is that bonus depreciation allowed, have you heard of section 179, where if you buy a vehicle, you can deduct the entire value of that vehicle in year one, even though it's got a 5 or 10-year lifespan? It basically is the same type of accelerated depreciation for real estate, meaning all that 1, 2, 4, 5, the appliances, anything under a certain yearly lifespan is lumped in, and you can take it as a full deduction year one. That's the bonus side of it. You can take it as a full deduction the year you put your building in service. Okay. Another big thing happened in 2017. Properties that were not new construction were eligible. for depreciation, for accelerated bonus depreciation under this tax code. Before that, you had to build a building from the ground up, brand new, to be eligible. Is that correct, Mitchell? But in 2017, it became eligible for properties
Used
that
property.
you bought, which changed the game because most transactions out there are exactly that. They're transactions. A building is built and it's bought by somebody else. The developer was the only person who got to take bonus depreciation in the past. Nowadays, everybody can.
That's right. So now, so that kind of blew open this entire practice of, cost segregation's been around forever. It's been a engineering study that's done out there, but this really opened up the product to be applicable to tons more people, because a lot of more people buy used property or, buy existing property than develop and hold new property. That's just a reality. And then secondarily, it went to 100%, which means the payback ratio or the year one benefit is such a valuable, is so valuable to so many people that it makes immediate sense. We're going to run through some of these case studies to show people kind of exactly what that means.
Want to talk about it from a grand scale in my example as one part of it. We bought over the last 5 years, we bought $100 million worth of storage. In 2021, we bought $50 million worth of storage, 38 properties. Of that $50 million purchase price, 20 to 25% of that, or $12.5 million, was eligible for bonus depreciation. And in 2021, that percentage was 100%. In 2022, it was still 100% down. Now that we're in 2023, it's 80%. Next year, it's 60. Yep. Is that right, Mitchell?
And then
so the value of the bonus depreciation is slightly going away, slowly over time. That could change with the next regime, depending on who gets elected and what the tax code evolves into. But yeah, we bought $50 million worth of storage. About $20 million of that was equity in 2021, and $12.5 million of bonus depreciation came right back to us as a deduction to defer our tax liability into the future.
Hey guys, I have big news. I recently revamped my sales and customer service team at my self-storage company using folks in South Africa. Listen to this English accent.
Hi there, my name is Anton and I'm a sales professional from Gqeberha or Port Elizabeth, which is in the eastern province of South Africa. I've been in sales for about 8 years now with experience in hardware sales with some of the leading brands in the world, such as Canon, Panasonic, and more recently, Red Bull.
Okay, now the surprising part. The person you just listened to is available for hire right now, and they're asking $9 an hour. If you want an introduction, if you want to hire this person into your business or at least interview them, send me an email, nick@sweatystartup.com, and I can make an introduction and offer you $1,000 off the recruiting fee. nick@sweatystartup.com.